Hey folks, welcome to Dan's Auto Diagnostics and Repair. As you can see, we have the 2001 GMC Sierra 2500 Super Duty or Heavy Duty back in the shop. And today it's for a power steering pump issue. Now I first checked out, when it first pulled in, I checked the fluid. It was low, so I filled it up, bled the system a bit, and she's still making some noise. Let me show you. Before we put this power steering pump in, we're going to check a few things under the hood and make sure that that's it. Now what I've done was sprayed degreaser all down on the steering case, the lines, power steering, and this is a Hydro Boost braking system, so I can see a little wetness back here. So anywhere there was wetness, I degreased real good and rinsed off. And a customer, when she brought it here, said that before this happened, she's seen a bunch of fluid coming out of the front. I believe there's a power steering cooler on this. We're gonna have to check into that. That might be leaking, and that may be the whole problem. So we're gonna investigate that before we go change the parts. We're not parts changers. You see down in there, where those lines go back, looks really wet right there. Those lines, one comes from the power steering pump, the other comes from the power steering gearbox down there. So we got to find our way back in there. Maybe take this grill off or something, I don't know. I'm gonna go look up service data and see what we got to do. So it looks like we can get a good look at it by just taking off this cover in the front. There's our cooler. So it looks like it's just sitting there on the core support. So let's remove that top cover and go take a look. Looks like we can just take these push pins here out and remove this thing pretty easy. These are really easy to do. I just take a 90-degree hook, I lift it up just like that, and then I get underneath it and pry the rest of it out. Very simple. Others, like those other Christmas trees, you gotta have a tool like this. That's very nice. All right, let's get this off. They're all out. Now it just comes right up. Good to go. And there is our cooler. Oh, look at that. It is leaking. That is a problem. There we go. Look at all that down in there. Yep, I think that power steering is good. It's whining a little, but I'm pretty sure that she'll be all right with that. She's gonna sell the truck anyway, but there's a situation right there. All right, we're going the cheap route. We're just gonna bypass that. Customer don't wanna pay for it, so she said just go ahead and bypass it. She doesn't wanna deal with it. She'll go with the lower price of just the bypass and deal with whatever comes along, which it ain't gonna hurt anything. That cooler doesn't drop the temperature that much, so it's not gonna hurt anything. She wants it done, so let's do it. So right there, where the end of my flashlight is, that line right there will just be cut and connected to the line coming from the power steering gearbox right there next to it. So essentially I'm just taking this line and connecting it, looping it to this line, and then that will bypass the cooler. I put vice grips on the ends of each line. There's another vice grip down there so I don't lose all the fluid. So this line right here is just going to go right onto the gearbox. So I'm going to take this little clamp loose, and let's see, where's my clamp here? Got this clamp. You use this clamp. Slide that on here. Slide that on first. Unhook that, and then real quickly, as you can see, fluid is coming out of there. Real quickly, just get it onto there. And that way I'll lose as less fluid as possible. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film that. I need a head cam. There we go. Bypass complete. Not sure if I'm going to get this light for you. But, no. The lighting. Ridiculous. Alright, so here's that bypass hose. This comes from the power steering pump to the gearbox down there. And just put a hose clamp on it. Right here. There you go. That's the bypass. Let's run her. Make sure we got no leaks. She's running. I don't see any leaks. That's the only place it'd be leaking, right there. Alright, let's take her for a rip. I think I'll just throw the cover on first. Nice and easy. Line all the holes up. All good. Now we pop the pins in. Everybody's in. Looks good. Whoa, almost closed the hood with this. Yeah, I got to check. That was close. Alright. Another little once over before we do something stupid. Alright, we're good. And make sure she's latched. We don't need any broken windshields. Done that a few times. Alright, right off the rip, we'll give her a little back and forth and some brakes. Give her brakes because there's a hydro boost on this one. A little RPM there. Alright, check the fluid and get on down the road. Everything seems to be doing just fine. I'm just gonna make a right turn here up into this parking lot. I don't hear the power steering screaming. Do a little loop. Back her up. No, all seems well. All right, back to the shop. Make sure no lines have busted off or anything. Tip your hat to the man on the tractor. It's my man Pat. All right, pulling in. Sounds good, feels good. We'll just park her here for now. Check that fluid. I don't see any more fluid than was already there. We did get a little down there. Check that. Looks good. All right. We're gonna ship it. All right, folks, that's the bypass on the 2001 GMC Sierra 2500. Now, we did buy a power steering pump, but we didn't change it because that's not the problem, and we're not parts changers. So, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.